Not sure if your water broke? That's okay. Watch this video. I'm going to tell you 4 things that you're going to tell your doctor or nurse when you get to the hospital or when you make that phone call. Stay tuned. So if you're not really sure if your water broke, that's okay. It's actually pretty common for women to not know whether they have actually lost their mucus plug, their water's breaking, they're having contractions. But there are 4 things that we want to know when you call the doctor or go to the hospital. And the acronym, really easy to remember, is C.O.A.T. 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 Okay? The first C is for color. What color came out of you? Was it yellow? Was it clear? Was it green? Was it orange? We definitely want to know what color the fluid is. Okay? O stands for odor. What was the odor? If you didn't really get close enough to smell it, that's okay. But if you did, we'd like to know, does it smell like pee? Does it have a funky, nasty smell, or does it not have a smell at all? It's really important for us to know, especially because a lot of women wake up and they're like, oh my God, I've been sitting in this puddle of fluid since I don't know how long. That's okay, all right? So A stands for amount. That is about how much fluid do you think came out of you. A lot or a little doesn't really quantify it. Did it fill up a panty liner? Did it fill up an actual period pad? Was it just a couple drops? We want to know exactly how much it was. And then most importantly, the time. So time is about the time you think your water broke. Again, if you don't know, that's absolutely fine. If you woke up and you've been sitting in a puddle of water, that's okay. But if you were standing at the kitchen making breakfast, or you were at work and you happened to glimpse the clock, maybe you were walking at the grocery store and again, you were like, like my water just broke. That really helps us. That helps your provider to plan whether they might need to augment your labor or not. 9 times out of 10, your contractions will start within a couple of hours of your water breaking, but that doesn't always happen. Doctors and midwives and even doctors, OBs, family med, they all have different times for how long amount of time they are comfortable with a woman's labor not being augmented. What that means is some providers say, oh, your water broke, go straight to the hospital, we need to start you on something. Some providers will say, okay, your water broke, let's give you a couple of hours and see if your contractions start to kick in and do something. Okay, so it's why it's really important for you to have a time that you can phone in and say, yeah, about 6 a.m. I think my water broke and it was pretty clear, didn't have any smell, but holy cannoli, I was able to fill up an entire maternity pad and I'm still filling them up. I haven't really started any contractions, but I don't really know what I should do. Should I stay here? Should I go to the hospital? You're planning a home birth. Do you think it's time for you to come to me? Should I call my doula? So these are all things that your provider wants to know. What the color was, if it had a smell or an odor, the approximate amount, and the approximate time that your water broke. Really, that's it. If you don't know if your water broke, that's okay. Your water doesn't have to break for labor to start. In fact, your water doesn't have to break at all. That's a whole nother video. Thank you for joining me. My name is Monique, and that was your Tuesday tip. Remember, your birth experience matters. I'll see you next week.